So recently I was doing a video where I talked about Silicon Valley Bank, my take on what's going on in the state of the economy and all that stuff. And during that time, I said there are certain things that are happening now that are kind of reminding me about the past when we're talking about the housing crisis, '08, and things of that sort. So a few days ago when I was on vacation with my family for spring break, I was reading the headlines and I saw that there was this billionaire who was unalived in San Francisco, and I thought I would share that with you. Right now you're looking at thesun.com, and the headline is "Knife Horror, Bobby Lee Dead at 43, Mystery as Cash App Founder and Tech Executive Stabbed to Death in San Francisco in Savage Attack." Now, there is a point to this and loosely how it's related to Lego, and I'll share that in a little bit. Now, the article says the entrepreneur 43 died from his injuries following the attack that happened early on Tuesday morning in the Rincon Hill neighborhood. Now, the reason why this caught my eye is because this gentleman was worth $10 billion, right? So to have a billionaire be knifed at random. The article says alleged mugging, but he did have his cell phone still on him after the attack, so I'm not exactly sure what was going on. But the reason why it caught my attention was during an '08 you had the housing crisis, right? The beginning of it, and then you had the aftermath. And once the dust settled, you saw that sometime around 2014, you started to see some very rich people kind of mysteriously get unalived. So right now you have the founder of Cash App who was unalived, and around the same time you have this happening, the federal government coming out with a federal Cash App version. It's called FedNow, and this is an article from Forbes. It says real-time FedNow expected to boost instant payments. So I don't know if this is a coincidence that the founder of Cash App was recently unalived during the same time the federal government is doing their own launch of their own Cash App. Not exactly sure. But getting back to the '08 housing crisis and the mysterious and sometimes unexplained deaths, there were so many rich people that were unalived, committed suicide, or things of that sort. People started documenting them, and you have this right here, a list of people, and most notably for me, there was one very rich person who was unalived, and the coroner determined that it was suicide. But the interesting thing was this gentleman was shot 27 times with a nail gun, and that was considered suicide. So I don't exactly know what's going on, if this was a coincidence with the founder of Cash App, but it's during these times where I say to myself, you know what, you really need to pay attention to the news that slips through the cracks. Because here at home in the United States, we have a former president who has recently been indicted, and the quote-unquote trial of the century will be underway very soon. We have things going on in Ukraine between a proxy war of the United States and Russia and all kinds of stuff. So there's always a consolidation of businesses and companies whenever it comes to a financial crisis. Merrill Lynch was absorbed by Bank of America. Countrywide was absorbed by Bank of America. It's just interesting to follow all of this stuff and what's going on with the state of the economy when it comes to unemployment and jobs, money, and having money to buy and sell Legos. And finally, if you could, I'd like to kindly ask you to like and subscribe to this video. We had almost 39,000 new viewers to this channel during the month of March, which was great. I am very grateful for that. And if only 2 or 3% were able to subscribe to this channel, it would very much help us out. So I greatly appreciate it. All right, now to the main topic, and this is something I would like everybody to hear with an open mind. If there is one set that I absolutely will not buy for my own personal collection, I might buy this for my own personal collection, but absolutely positively not purchase for resale, it is the new UCS X-Wing Starfighter. This bad boy will be available May the 4th. Thank goodness it's May the 4th, and it will retail for $239 and change. Now, this will be the third UCS X-Wing Starfighter, and I actually own plenty of the last UCS Starfighter, and that's what I want to talk about. It wasn't necessarily a good thing for me. Whenever I purchased the Red 5 X-Wing Starfighter, this was a set that I really wasn't excited about. The only reason why I did it was because there were quite a few resellers that were very excited. And so I joined the bandwagon, right? And this is something that I did early on whenever I was a Lego reseller sometimes. And this is something that I preach now over and over again on this channel, to don't do the bandwagon. Do not jump on board and do what everybody else is doing. And we're going to explain why. So first up, we have the last UCS X-Wing Starfighter, the Red 5. This was Luke Skywalker's X-Wing. Retail price at the time was $200, and this was a hard set to find. Like, you could only get it at the Lego store or Lego shop at home. This was before you would see $200 Lego sets at Target, Walmart, online, Barnes & Noble online, and all that stuff. And they weren't discounted. You had to use VIP points. This was a very difficult set to purchase, and an even more difficult set to purchase at a discount. When you go to Camel 3X, I mean, to me, this really is not an impressive chart, right? And you're going to see at the end, we do have an Excel spreadsheet where I'm going to be talking about why there are much better alternatives to this set. So please stick around for that. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about alternatives to the upcoming X-Wing Starfighter. So it does look like it may have been sold on Amazon for a brief amount of time. Definitely wasn't discounted, right? And you see, for the longest time after this set retired, it was somewhere around $250. Big deal. If you're a reseller, $250 is nothing on a $200 set. It really wasn't until COVID where, you see a lot of price action here that is notable. You do, of course, have price action here, but who cares about that? Because we're here to resell. We're not here to collect. And eventually, it looks like it did top out at $519. But again, at the end of the day, who cares? And I'm really trying not to crap on this set, right? But again, I'm not going to be like those other YouTubers and they're like, oh, cool, this is an X-Wing Starfighter. It's going to be great. If you're a collector and you want this set, God bless, have at it. Buy 2 of them for all I care. But as a reseller, this is a set that I am not going to pay attention to at all. So if you're saying to yourself, you know what, I really like the wolfofbricks YouTube channel and I'm thinking about becoming a reseller, or I'm already a reseller and I'm wanting to level up my game, consider joining the Patreon. We have a great time over at Patreon. Last month we had 2 group chats. We always have at least 2 videos throughout the month. When it comes to ungating, that is something that I am absolutely passionate about. We do have a 100% success rate, and we're going to continue to have a 100% success rate. We have a library of exclusive Patreon YouTube videos that you just can't get anywhere else. And we also have one-on-one consultations where you talk to me personally, and I will go over your inventory. I'll do an analysis. I'll rate where you are right now, where I think you are, and I'll also explain to you where I think you need to go in order to be a successful Lego reseller. Again, the link is in the description below. All right, so I think I shared why I would never buy that Lego set for resale. But let's talk about other alternatives. Not just other alternatives, but other X-Wing alternatives. We're talking about X-Wings. There are many X-Wings I like, but I would say my favorite when it comes to the price point is usually that $70 X-Wing set. But we are also going to talk about even more affordable X-Wing sets, and we're also going to talk about the return on investment for those sets, which I think are much better than the Red 5 set. So this right here is probably my favorite X-Wing Starfighter, and I've never owned it. I have serious regrets on it. I've thought about purchasing this used on eBay, and I still might do this. This is the Lego Star Wars X-Wing Starfighter, set number 9435. Beautiful set. This retailed, I believe, for $70 at the time, but if you knew what you were doing, you could easily have gotten it for $55. And when you go to Camel 3X, you can see right here, the lowest it was at was $38. That is crazy. Right now, it's currently going for $189 and change, but it does look like it peaked at around $319, which is exactly what you want to have happen. But even if you didn't sell it at that high price, even if you sold it right here, somewhere around $210, I mean, it really wasn't that long if you were wanting to hold on to that set from when it retired to when it reached $200. You really would have been able to roll that money over and purchase more Lego sets, which of course is something that you want to do. We also have the Star Wars X-Wing Starfighter set number 75218. Very, very good set. I don't like the last trilogy, but this Lego set does look pretty cool to me. Again, you go to Camel 3X, the lowest you could have purchased it for was $50. The highest it went for was $225. But if you would have waited only a year and a half, you could have made some serious money whenever it was time to resell. And finally, I believe this is a set that is still currently available. I think the retail price on this is $50. And I think this set is an exclusive because it's sold on Amazon on the third-party market, but I don't see Amazon themselves actually selling this. This is set number 75301, Star Wars Luke Skywalker's X-Wing fighter. Again, this retails for $50. You should be able to get it for $40 if you know what you're doing. And look at that. It's selling on Amazon right now for $61. So if you're able to purchase it brand new for $40, you're already making 50% return on investment. Now, of course, you don't want to just release it and sell it then. You want to wait till it gets closer to $100 after it retires. So when you go to the Excel, you can see right here, this top one, that's the Luke Skywalker Red 5 one that I owned in the past, the UCS one. If you look and compare all the ROIs, you can see right there, it really is the worst. And what I did on this Excel was I have the lowest price that it was available for these sets, and I have the highest price that these sets sold for. And to me, it's clear as day. For the 9493, you're looking at 725% return on investment. And for the 75218, you're looking at 350% return on investment, which is just crazy. So if it were me purchasing X-Wings, it would definitely be the X-Wings that are somewhere around the $70 mark or less. To me, they have the best return on investment. But at the end of the day, I don't give investment advice. Feel free to do whatever you like. But regardless, I would love to hear your comments in the comments section to see what you had to say about this video. That's it, friends. Hope you enjoyed the video. As always, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Once again, I'm Jim with wolfofbricks.com. Always go out there and get it.